Lots of new story directions are being put in place for the Judgment Day, so we'll see what's new there for Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and more. The June 12th edition of Monday Night Raw kicked off with Rhea Ripley receiving her new Women's World Championship. So, with Rhea getting that new title, the branded Raw and SmackDown women's titles are officially retired. Their existence ran from 2016 to 2023. It's the beginning of a new era for the women's titles, and Rhea Ripley will go down in history as the first ever Women's World Champion. So it's a big deal for Rhea Ripley, and a great look for the Judgment Day since she is a member of the faction after all. Now, let's get into some other issues going on within the Judgment Day. Everything was running smooth with the Judgment Day until Seth Rollins entered their lives. Damian Priest had his world title match against Seth Rollins a few weeks back, and he came out with Finn Balor to the ring to confront Seth Rollins. Seth immediately poked fun at Damian Priest for always needing Finn Balor by his side for everything he does. Seth's words got to Damian Priest so much that he agreed to leave Finn Balor and the rest of the Judgment Day in the back in order to face Seth Rollins all on his own. And even back then, we talked about how Finn Balor seemed a little offended and bothered by how fast Damian Priest agreed to those terms. Damian didn't even talk it over with Finn beforehand. There was no conversation at all with any of the Judgment Day members. Damian Priest just instantly made the call on his own, right on the spot. So that fact appeared to bother Finn Balor, and he wasn't happy about it at all. Then in that main event, we of course saw Finn Balor go against what Damian Priest agreed on, and Finn still ended up coming out to the ring. Damian wasn't happy to see Finn Balor at ringside, and it led to them having a quick confrontation with each other. And after Damian Priest lost to Seth Rollins, that's when Finn Balor hopped in the ring and had that stare down with Seth Rollins, basically indirectly confirming that Finn Balor would be Seth's next challenger. So that's the recap there. Now let's see what's new for this story from the June 12th edition of Raw. We see the Judgment Day members all backstage, and although Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio appear to be their normal selves, Finn Balor and Damian Priest are definitely stranger than usual. Damian Priest mentioned how he was going to qualify for the Money in the Bank match, and how he was going to do it alone with none of the Judgment Day members out there with him at ringside. Damian Priest eyed down Finn Balor as he said that line and kept walking by himself to the ring. Obviously, that line and how he stared down Finn Balor when he said it was a reference to their issue from the week prior, when Finn Balor went against what Damian Priest wanted and still came out to ringside. So Damian Priest made it extremely clear that for the second week in a row, he didn't want anyone out there with him. And to Damian Priest's credit, no one was out there with him, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He defeated Matt Riddle and qualified for the men's Money in the Bank match all on his own, and he'll have an opportunity to win that contract and change his career forever. But getting back to Finn Balor, he was definitely the one Judgment Day member that was really out of his normal ways. Finn was extremely quiet and all to himself during those backstage segments with the Judgment Day. Usually, Finn Balor is very interactive with the rest of the Judgment Day members. But that wasn't the case here. He was off to the side with an intense look on his face, appearing like he was thinking hard about something that was really on his mind and bothering him. So that leads to Finn Balor coming out for a promo, and we quickly find out what exactly was on his mind and driving him crazy all night long. The answer was Seth Rollins. So Finn calls out Seth Rollins, and Seth makes his way to the ring. And that's when we hear about what's been bothering Finn not only all night, but for a very long time now. Finn says that he's been waiting 7 years to say this, and how he wasn't waiting any longer. Finn Balor mentions the 2016 WWE draft. He talked about how he was the first round pick in the draft, how he beat Roman Reigns on his first night on Raw, and how he went on to beat Seth Rollins just a few weeks after that to become the first ever WWE Universal Champion. Finn was on such a hot start to his main roster career, but as everyone knows, Finn's Universal title reign was only 24 hours long because his entire arm and shoulder was wrecked after Seth Rollins threw him into a barricade that night in 2016. It was an injury that changed their lives and careers forever. Finn Balor missed a lot of time recovering from that injury and could never get his hands back on the Universal title after that injury. While Seth Rollins continued to have a great, huge wins and multiple world title reigns since 2016. So Finn Balor talked about how it was Seth's fault that he went from the highway of highs to the lowest of lows all in an instant. Finn said that he's now coming to take it all away from Seth Rollins. He plans on taking the world title away from Seth Rollins, and even said he plans on taking a year away from Seth Rollins' career. Seth said that he's been waiting a long time to see this version of Finn Balor, and said that the match at Money in the Bank is on. Seth also mentioned how he wondered what version of Finn Balor he would see at Money in the Bank. Seth said that this current version of Finn has no shot, but how the one-armed version of Finn from 2016 would have a shot. A lot of fans are looking deep into Seth's comments and wondering if it could relate to the idea of Finn Balor bringing back that 2016 demon look to take on Seth Rollins. Now, as cool as it would be to visually see Finn Balor bring back that 2016 demon look, a lot of fans agree that Finn doesn't really need to use the demon for this matchup, especially since the last 2 times we've seen the demon, he was taking 2 big losses to Roman Reigns and Edge. So it doesn't really make sense to keep using the demon only for him to keep losing with it. That sort of takes away from the aura of the persona. So fans actually are hoping that Finn doesn't bring out the demon at Money in the Bank, because the demon can't really afford a 3rd straight loss right now. But things don't stop there for the Judgment Day. Finn Balor was seen talking backstage to JD McDonagh. Finn mentioned how it's not important to make friends, it's only important to make an impact, and how he believed that JD can do that. Damian Priest walked over, which made JD step away. Finn asked if Damian would cash in the Money in the Bank on him, and Damian assured him that he wouldn't. Damian Priest also told Finn Balor that he should keep his word when he says things, referring to how Finn came to ringside the week prior. Damian Priest said that Seth Rollins is the main reason for all this tension between them popping up, and how Finn Balor needs to take care of Seth at Money in the Bank to end this once and for all. So there's a lot of elements going on right now within the Judgment Day story. You have Finn Balor, who's extremely heated and has this rage inside of him towards Seth Rollins that he's been holding it in for 7 years. Then you have Damian Priest, who's trying to do more things on his own away from the group and without their assistance lately. And now you have JD McDonagh, who's slowly being brought into the Judgment Day story as well. There's a lot of popular fan theories going around right now for the Judgment Day, and the most popular theory is that someone is getting kicked out of the group and will be replaced with JD McDonagh, and it looks like it could either be Finn Balor or Damian Priest. Maybe we have a full circle moment where Finn tries to be a mentor to JD and brings him into the Judgment Day, only for JD to turn around and betray Finn Balor and kick Finn out of the group. It would pretty much be what Finn Balor and Judgment Day did to Edge when Finn first joined, or with Damian Priest's frustrations growing rapidly, and how he wants to do things on his own. What if Finn Balor makes the move to kick out Damian Priest and replace him with JD? There's so many interesting story directions, theories, and possibilities surrounding the Judgment Day, so it's going to be very interesting to see where this story goes to next. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.